President Trump fighting another lawsuit, this one claiming the president incited violence at his campaign rally. What's the president's defense? He says people have no right to protest him at his own event. It all happened in Louisville, Kentucky last year. A new filing from Trump's lawyers asks a judge to toss the lawsuit, claiming, of course, protesters have their own First Amendment right to express dissenting views, but they have no right to do so as part of the campaign rally of the political candidates they oppose. Now, this stems from this lawsuit filed a year ago in Louisville, Kentucky. These three protesters are suing President Trump and three of his supporters for assault, saying those Trump supporters assaulted them at his direction from the stage.
All right, get them out. Get them out. Oh, look who we have here, some wonderful people. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out of here.
Now, we don't have video of two of the plaintiffs, but here is one of them. You can see her being pushed through the crowd by Alvin Bamberger, the veteran in the black hat. And this man, white nationalist Matthew Heimbach, wearing a red Make America Great Again hat, is also accused of assaulting the protesters. Both men say they were simply following Trump's orders to remove people. And now the president's team wants all of it thrown out, saying no one had the right to protest him because they were the ones trampling on his First Amendment rights. Joining me is one of the plaintiffs, Henry Brousseau. He's suing President Trump and those supporters for assault. And Greg Belsley, his lawyer, who's joining us. Thank you both for joining us. All right, first to you, Henry, why did you go to that? Would you go there to protest?
I went there to express my First Amendment rights. That's an American tradition, and I wanted to take part. I disagreed with what he'd been saying throughout the campaign, as most Americans had, and I wanted to get my voice heard. I wanted to see if I could change any people's opinions. And
were you pushed? And so, what happened to you? How were you assaulted?
Oh well, I unfurled my banner, and somebody with the Traditional Workers Party, a neo-Nazi organization, grabbed the banner out of my sign and punched me in the stomach.
All right, Greg, you brought this lawsuit, so tell me, where's it filed?
This lawsuit was filed in federal district court in Louisville, Kentucky.
And tell me how you expect this to proceed.
Well, at this point, the judge has denied Mr. Trump's motions to dismiss the case. He has ordered that the parties provide him with a proposed order setting pretrial deadlines. Mr. Trump's lawyers, however, have just recently filed a motion asking for permission to take Judge Hale's rulings immediately up on appeal to the Sixth Circuit.
Henry, do you have any sort of thought about, what was someone supposed to do if there's a protester there who's disrupting a rally? What would you expect? And if this were a candidate you liked?
Well, you can disagree with them respectfully. You don't put hands on them. You don't shove them. You don't move them out aggressively.
But how about I assume that, were you yelling things or not? Were you disrupting at all?
We were saying Black Lives Matter. It was a huge room. You could still hear what he was saying. We weren't disrupting very much. But that doesn't change what they did.
I mean, look, the First Amendment can be a little bit, around the edges. Look, I'm a strong supporter of the First Amendment. I guess I'm taking it a little bit further and saying, do you have any problem with what you did?
No, I have no problem with what we did. And Trump's argument is that he has a First Amendment right to say what he wants, but we don't. And that's where I strongly disagree with him.
Greg, let me ask you, is there any sort of, do you worry or think when you look at your lawsuit that it's seen as that your client was sort of an invited guest in there and was asked to leave? The assault thing, look, you're not supposed to lay your hands on somebody. That's assault, I got that. But is there any sort of aspect of this is that your client it wasn't on the street, this was inside a rally, and I assume the campaign paid for the venue?
Well, that's correct, Greta. This was a public event. Tickets were sold to the public. There was no litmus test at the door, and they were letting people in who wanted to attend the rally generally. And it's, as Henry said, it's an American tradition. The First Amendment there is to protect not the kind of speech we all want to hear, The First Amendment is there to protect people who are saying things we don't want to hear, and the Founding Fathers understood that, and that's what the First Amendment is there for. And the idea...
And explain to me the causation aspect of it. I got the people laying hands on your client. I got that. I mean, that's assault. In fact, you don't even have to touch someone to sort of assault. But what's the causation from the president saying, get him out of here?
Oh, well, you can't just start in isolation at the Louisville rally. For weeks beforehand, he was making comments about protesters being taken out on stretchers. He was offering to pay his supporters legal fees. He had the best seat in the House to see what effect his rhetoric was having on the audience. And you and others in the media were doing a very good job of reporting what was happening there. Unless he was living in a bubble, he couldn't have been unaware of what effect his rhetoric was having on people. And even in the tape you're playing, you can hear the anger and the venom in his voice. And this is just unprecedented conduct by a candidate for the President of the United States, and he needs to be held accountable.
Now, you don't have to be hurt to get an assault, but I'm curious, were you hurt at all?
Yes, I was punched. I was sore for several days. It gave me anxiety, it gave me nightmares, so absolutely.
Well, we're going to continue to follow. It's an interesting case, especially the interesting aspect to me will be the sort of the causation effect. Obviously, someone will lay their hands on that's an easier one. But anyway, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us, both of you.
Thank you, Greta.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.